Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. While this is going to be a Henry J video, I got a suspicion it's also going to be a little random and interesting. So we may throw it in multiple playlists. But I do know he's been looking at the 78 and he's got some issues with the fuel door hitting and some wiring questions for me. So we'll take a look at that. The Henry, we're just going to keep going down the list. We're getting so close to being able to actually freaking see if it starts. I have a couple questions on the 55, so that may show up in this video. 57 I don't think is in the video, so that's kind of where we're at. At this point, I got an odd suspicion that the wiring harnesses I'm looking at are probably all sitting right here. So I think I'm going to set up a table and take a peek at them. Those are for the 78 Camaro. I know this is one of the ones he'd been asking me about. That connector actually looks fine. The wire is still pliable. I don't see any issues here. The boot's still good for the pass-through. Could use a little cleaning. Then you can see inside here that the sockets, they look reasonable. Yeah, they just need cleaned. You know, people pack grease in there to kind of keep moisture out. Okay. This must not be the harness he was asking me about, because this harness looks to be in really, really good condition. Well, here's another harness with sockets. Okay, this is up at the firewall side here. So this has got to be a front light harness, you can tell. So let me get that up here and we'll go through that one. People, I forgot to tell you what I was doing, but I've been playing with the camber a little bit. You got to pop the wheel to do it. Remember, the one on the other side wasn't even tightened, and this side was completely out. So we're just going to set it kind of neutral, go from there for now. I'm pretty happy on this side, but now that she's down and we've gone lock to lock, I think one of those bolts wasn't tight because suddenly we have a ricer. Okay, so we got those pretty snug, and you can see they just, that upper rides on a T-slot and it just clamps down, and that's how you do your caster and your camber, which means you don't need a bunch of shims or anything, but it does mean somebody has to lock that down good. So we got these a lot closer. One of the next things on our list, and technically we probably should have done it ages ago, is finally get around to adjusting the e-brake cable. Might have been easier before there was a rear end, but what do you do? Well, one of the things we're going to have to do, well, let's get it tight and then we'll bring it down, throw her in neutral, and try the brake. Okay, getting ready to bring the car down and throw her in neutral because I hadn't planned ahead. But we've got quite a bit of adjusting done. I think it's going to put us in the ballpark. I think I'm going to have to lash the rears a little bit once I stretch the cable a couple times. But Harlan's taking advantage of the tires being at exactly the height he would like to wash them. Okay, this is the harness he was talking about, but I misunderstood his question. He would like to find one that isn't in such good shape because we have to alter it because we put digital lights in the 78. So he's like, oh, it'd be a shame to cut up this perfectly good one. So I guess we're going to try to find one just so we can get that connector, this grommet, this ground, and, you know, obviously I believe, being pink, that that's probably the fuel sender. Yeah, so he doesn't want to cut all these sockets off unless we have to. Okay, so we're getting ready to hook back up for some electrical checks here. I've got the EFI fuse pulled, and I guess I better, oh, let's make sure we're not going to hit anything here. Okay. Let me clean up in the cab a little. After a ridiculous amount of effort, we have the K straight. That was driving me crazy. That horn button wouldn't just pop out. It needs cleaned because my hands are gross, but it wouldn't just pop out, so we had to pop the whole wheel off. You know, can't win. So I guess one of the next things we're going to do is Harlan's going to kind of go tappa with that black cable, and I'm going to look for any issues. In this car, there should be no snapping, no nothing. Nothing should happen. Well, no, he's got his subwoofer thing hooked up. Now, we don't have the radio hooked up. You can see that's unplugged. But the woofer and the amplifier are. Let me make sure none of these little cable ends are touching each other. No, I'm going to move one real quick. Okay. We made sure nothing was going to happen because we hadn't looked at that mess of wires, so that should be fine. So he should be able to just go tap, 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 and nothing bad should happen at all. Like I said, there may be a capacitor spark on the subwoofer stuff. Yeah, I just heard it. And now it's charged, right? Okay. Go ahead and slide her on, and then let's smell for smoke and listen for sizzles. It's always the first thing you do. Just listen for problems. And a lot of times wiring will let you know right away. Hey, look at that. We got light. That's always convenient. And remember, we did just recently have the jump pack on here and do all this. It's always a little more serious when it's a battery because that thing can source a lot of current. Now, we have the EFI unplugged at the moment. Oh boy, getting in here is a nightmare. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to see if it turns over real quick, just kind of go chink, and then we're going to go take a look, see if we got any fluids flying anywhere, and we'll go from there. So okay, yeah, we got to do the fuel sender. Yeah, probably, because otherwise it's just going to arc on us. You should just be able to use that 9/16 that's laying on the radiator. The other radiator. Yeah, just kind of hold the one end. Just give it a little snug. It doesn't have to be super tight. Yeah, good call. Oh, look at the dust. Oh, he's going to have to wash up in here. On the upside, without the seats and the console in here, if there's anything we have to do, this is a little easier to get at stuff than it was. So we'll deal with all this. And you remember, Camaro ignition switch, custom dash from Dakota. I think Rain Gear was the name of the people for the drive for the wipers. I think that's who it was. Yeah, there's a few neat things here. Is it kind of snuggish? Huh. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. For better or for worse, let's see what happens. Turn her on. All that goes. No fuel pump. She is in park. And she does crank over. Okay. So now that we've cranked her a couple times, the next thing I want to do is go look for leaks. You know how it is. Sometimes that's a quick way to remember what you forgot to tighten. So nothing there. Alright, I'm going to go to the truck and grab a tripod. Okay, I'm going to go key it over a few more times. And you're going to see no fire. I don't think it'll read because we haven't done all the setup. We haven't done anything.
I mean, on the dash?
That's what I'm saying. It won't read it. We haven't done the setup. You have to go through all those menus and set all that up. It doesn't know any of that. So, okay, no fire. I didn't hear anything make any funny noises, no bangs, nothing. So that's a good start. We're gonna let that just sit for a minute, let the starter cool, and then we're probably gonna do that 5 or 6 times, and then I may take a little time and go through the Dakota setup, everything but the Speedo. So we're gonna have to find the manual on that. It has been a minute since I've done a VHX gauge. Okay, we're gonna check the oil real quick. We have keyed it over a few times, but then we had some other tasks, so everything's sat for a little bit here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check the oil, and maybe I'll peek in here and see if I can see anything. Okay, we are about a half quart low at the moment. Remember, we do have ignition unplugged, but when I look in here, I'm not seeing oil yet. From this side over here, I can see a little easier. So as soon as we see oil there, then we'll know we're safe. Okay, after a battery swap and a little more running, we now have oil at the lifters. I don't know why the Dakota isn't reading the oil pressure. I just checked it's plugged in, so hopefully that's wired right. If not, that'll be fun. So he's getting ready to add some ZDDP, and I just plugged the EFI back in and the ignition, so this could be interesting. Well, for better or for worse, I think we're at a point. If you recall, we set up the Sniper a couple weeks ago with a base blanket tune, nothing done to it, just told it the size of the motor. God, I think that's it, and an RPM. So don't know if it'll fire. We really have no idea. It might be a little flooded. We'll find out in a second here. If it does fire, I'm gonna let it run for just a brief moment and then shut it down and start looking for leaks, because something leaks. Something always leaks.
Did you see any oil pressure on any gauge?
No, but I also am not reading any voltage on that gauge for some reason. So I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, this is for the it should squirt oil pump or fuel pump.
Yes.
Okay.
Big squirt.
Okay. So I'm watching the little gauges here. The Sniper isn't seeing tack. Of course, neither is the Dakota. I just plugged that in. Let me verify that I did a good job there. Be right back. Well, and remember, none of this wiring's been tested until right now, so I'm going to try it again. If I don't see tack, then I know we've got some wiring troubleshooting, and tonight isn't as much fun as we'd hoped.
You did do that at home, though, didn't you? Turn it on like that? After you wired it?
I never had the ignition hooked up that way.
Oh.
Never wanted that to power. So, with the tack, okay, I got tack still stalled. No? Huh. Okay. Well, this is what testing's all about. Let me break out a multimeter. Well, here's something we didn't expect. I don't think our distributor works anymore. It used to, but the pink ignition wire is hot, and then I got a tack. We threw that on there. Nothing. So I'm going to verify that I've got the right wire. So I'm going to touch one of them to red and see if the light lights up. But yeah, we may have a module that died. Okay, we pulled the cap, checked everything. Everything looks fine. We have our blue wire hooked up to the tack output. I'm going to key it over again. If it doesn't work, then our module must be bad. That didn't work, did it? Okay, well, that was unexpected. Okay, we pulled out the coil to verify that, and we're getting about a 0.5 ohm across the low side and 7.8 K across the high side, so that's probably good. You know, we have our button, you know, although to be fair, we don't need the button. That part actually doesn't matter for what we're doing here. So, yeah, let's put it all back together. We're not going to bother with spark plug wires and just, you know, I think we might as well just accept that that guy is probably toast. And just go right ahead and take care of that. He's going to go look and see if he has one, but we need a 4-pin module. Hopefully we can harvest enough paste. Okay, so we put a GM module in there, used but tested in 2011. Oh, and now we're getting, oh, use your little orange jumper. And it's blue to green. So we're just trying to see if we can get RPM. Okay, we got RPM, so weren't expecting that. So obviously we got fire, so that module is bad. Known bad module now, because we have so much fuel in, you know, because we've been cycling it, even though the sniper didn't know about it, it still fired. Okay, I just hooked the sniper back up. We plugged the tack back in now that we have a module that seems to work. And I'm going to go in, cycle the key a little bit, and yeah, we're going to let it start and see what happens. Hopefully it just runs. Fired, and I'm reading the tack on the sniper now. I didn't even look at the Dakota. Oh, she smells pretty flooded, to be fair. We may have slightly flooded this thing. Gonna open the idle or the throttle blades just a touch.
Feels jumping out of that sniper.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's jumping up out of it.
Okay, we may have her slightly flooded. So, okay. Give us a few. Now, we think she might be a little flooded here. Harlan said he saw fuel jumping up out of it, so I'm going to zoom you guys in, because if it is, that might be cool to see. Well, I mean, it's a video. It's not what we want to see, but, you know, it is what it is.
Your own car, damn it.
That was better. It took a lot of throttle to make that happen. So for now, we're just going to add a little throttle. When you make a change, it auto sets the throttle position sensor on starter. Wow. It needs a lot of air. There was a lot of bypass air. Or this was completely closed. I mean, I don't know. Remember, we've never adjusted this sniper. This is out of the box fresh.
Worked on roadkill, man.
Is why the IAC is at 73%. It seems like a weird random number. But at this point, just for grins, let's give her a little bit more. This is starting to be quite, well, okay, it's not as much as it feels. That's okay. Never mind. Turning that little thing, I probably turned it like 3/4 of an actual turn, but it feels like a lot. It opened the IAC 100% and still couldn't keep it going. So we don't have anywhere near enough air.
Did you shut it off or did it stop?
I shut it off. I was watching the IAC and it wants even more throttle. Something you might want to do is be ready with a towel just in case.
I got it right.
Oh, I mean like a smothering towel. Like a big boy. So, is the video still going? Yep. Oh, let me back you guys out a little bit. So, we keep adding a little more air. I think those throttle blades were completely closed. I can feel they're cycling. They still feel pretty closed, actually, to be fair. So, the thing I'm starting to get worried about, though, is as we're opening the throttle blade, sooner or later, I always worry about a little backfire. So, I'm just getting a little nervous. Gonna look around. Well, I guess that's the towel you're gonna use if there's fire. At least you're going off the reach.
We'll grab another one.
But, okay, probably is safer. We'll be right back, guys. We want a safety towel. And while he is off getting a towel, I was just looking and I don't see any puddles, so that's always good. We like no puddles. Okay, people, we're gonna see now. So remember, we've got that screw open quite a ways. I wonder if it's like the oh yeah, it's like on the Terminator where you got a screw in the back you can do as well. So we'll monkey with that a little bit. I just want it to idle for a few seconds on its own. Let's see what happens. It's getting rowdy. Okay, we're airing her out for a second here because it got a little cloudy. No meatballs, but definitely cloud. Starting to see all the smoke you expect from stuff that's new that you've touched with oily hands. Definitely a little rising here and there. I closed the throttle blades down a bunch now that it's finally learning some things. So I think what we're going to do is try to give her one more start from back here. And like I said, don't worry about a bunch of smoke and oil and stuff. That's just to be expected right now. But let's see what she sounds like back here on a start.
What's this lug on
What's that for? That's what I'm saying. That brand includes them. Okay. Oil pressure sender or the wiring or something came unplugged because it never moves.
Oh no.
Well, we'll deal with that. You can't expect perfect wiring. Okay, I did back that off a little too much. A little too much.
Second next is the
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Light. We're just checking oil. Ooh, would you like to watch it?
No.
Why? It's not going to make a big mess. You're offset from the hole. You can stand here and you'd be able to watch oil right at that rocker on the exhaust rocker on number 5 of that top hole. So he's going to verify our oiling since we seem to have a bad connection on the pressure gauge. Although we have no clattering or anything, so we have oil.
What a way to cut.
Yeah, well, we got to do that.
Coming up.
Okay. Yeah, the gauge said the oil isn't needed, so something isn't hooked up. Under the wire got full. Remember, interior people don't care. But you saw oil? Because I know there's oil where we hear a lift. Okay. Okay, we are actually pretty close to letting her just actually start. So there, she was trying to idle. She was turning the IAC entirely.
It's working, yeah.
Oh yeah, the IAC was completely open, trying to keep it to idle up enough.
I think it's warm enough where I should maybe pull that salt on it.
Yeah, I don't think we need that
Jumper.
jumper anymore either. Okay, so at this point we know there's something fishy with our oil pressure sending unit or gauge. We'll test that later. We don't actually even need it running to do that testing. We can do that with jumpers and stuff. So, let me get you guys a little more level. There's the leg that I shortened. So I'm gonna have you guys kind of look over my shoulder here. This is probably our last start for a little while. I don't want it to get too hot and I don't want to pressurize the cooling system yet. I just want to build a little heat, circulate it a little bit, and then we'll see if there's good, because if there's going to be anything blowing out, I'd rather it did it as it was cooling. Okay. So here's our little screen. With this column like this is quite the reach. So we're waiting for our pages. Okay, so there it was learning what the fuel needed to be. I was watching the AFR go up and down, and then suddenly it started idling and the IAC closed. So I think originally our fuel table was a little bit off. So should be able now that the fuel table is starting to learn. I bet I can close the throttle position even a little bit more. So see, I'm doing what I would call half a turn, but on carburetors, a full turn is half of a turn, so that was a quarter. So, because think about, remember when you used to adjust them on the side here? Well, you would turn one full turn of your wrist was half a turn of the needle. So I still do that with those adjustments. Last start. Okay, that makes me feel better. Okay, that was a great start. We're getting really close, and honestly, we haven't done anything but turn a screw. I can't complain there. It worked. Yeah. And then, see, that's new, and it's bad. Something new left us in the dirt. Imagine that. If we trusted that on a road trip, we'd have been on the side of the road. So, that's one more thing that can come off our list. Here, let me zoom you guys in. Woo! No, it doesn't say replace the module, but you know what it does say?
Does it say MSD on this?
No. But we did have the good old run, which we just did, and we've kind of started the tune. I'm actually going to download the tune to the chip and then take it home and put it on the computer and start tweaking some things. We have to start somewhere. So we're slowly getting stuff crossed off our list. Some of them have to wait until we get the console back, but that's okay. This is a good thing. I feel pretty good about this. So, I don't know if you guys know it, but holding the tripod, I keep kicking it, so sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna zoom you back out. All right. Well, we're gonna toss it over to ShopRex. Thanks for watching. There, I got told I'm never in it.
Who told you that?
But commenter on YouTube. ShopRex has to remember, safety first.